Hi there, my name's Jim, this is my shed and you're welcome to it. And welcome back. Life's been a bit hectic over the last few weeks, so I've been more focused on getting bits and bobs done, just as I've got time to come out here, just get some stuff done. So slow and steady, I think, is the way to put progress up until now. So yeah, we say a few bits and bobs done, ready to move on to bigger and better things. I really don't understand YouTube. The gear change video, I think I'm still quite chuffed with the gear change. It's come out very nicely. And that did get a few more views. But it's just weird the way the numbers go up and down. I don't understand what's going on. And even though I said, I don't care who watches it, this is just for me to record what I'm doing, it's very hard not to get sucked in and, like have a look and say, oh, I'm watching and who's watching and all that sort of thing. It appeared to have had a view in Japan, which is quite odd. But yeah, anyway. So hello to my international viewers. Yeah. When even I tease the kids saying, "Hey, we're going to watch this." Excuse me. We're going to watch this great new YouTube thing, and I go, "It's you, Dad." So even they don't want to watch it, then so got to figure out who my audience is, eh? So as always, like and subscribe and comment and do whatever you fancy. But tell people about it if you think what I'm doing is any good. I'm enjoying myself. So yeah, enough rabbiting, I guess. Let's just say, let's crack on.
So I just missed slightly with the centre punch here, so I just thought I'd show you me dragging it over, hitting the centre punch at an angle till you get the get it where you want it, and then a nice big whack when it's all straight to get everything lined up again.
Didn't bring a rag out. Why did I not bring a fucking rag? So as you can see here, I took the gear linkage apart and painted it black, so not the greatest job, but it's all one colour now, and that'll be hidden. One problem I did have to address was this piece I'd actually made it about 0.5 millimetre too long, which meant, because I'm using these flanged bearings that sit in here, and the flanges are going to locate on the outside edges, that was floating in the housing. And while that wouldn't really be a problem, if you've got bearings moving against an alley housing, over time that will wear, and it would have gone sloppy. You can't have bearings moving in a housing like this because it'll just cause wear. So I shorted this 0.5 millimetre to get rid of the end float, and I'm going to Loctite these bearings in and then put it all together so that they can't move and shouldn't wear over time. So I'll get on with that now. But there we are, bearings all Loctited in and all torqued up, so that's now ready to, I'll just leave it for the Loctite to go off, but that's all ready to go. So another jobbed. So putting this together, I remember some cruddy little job that is one of those things that you sort of think will take care of itself. So I had to put the handbrake off switch back on there, so I just had to file a little bit out here, drill a hole, so screw that on, so as the handbrake comes down, you just press on that switch, and that's tells the handbrake and brake fluid light warning light to come on. So that's another bit done, jolly good. Now obviously the most important part of the car is getting the cup holder done. So to that end, it's going to sit basically. So you've got your gear stick here, thing here, and you've got a perfect little spot for just a. Because I am actually going to drive the car on the road, and although it's ridiculous, a cup holder is something worth having. So to that end, I bought some 3-inch tubing, which I can cut piece off and mount on here, weld onto there, set up, and then whatever I finish the dash in, I think I'll finish this as well, so that piece will sort of match the dash. I know I'm sort of obsessing about aesthetics, but I guess these things do matter. And also I bought a metre of tube, not because I'm going to make the world's biggest cup holder, but because at some point this will be my boost tubing. So I thought I'd just get enough to do that both jobs. So just before I crack on with starting the cup holder though, I just wanted to mention the boot for the gear stick coming through the bulkhead. Now I know I mentioned I was going to think about using a CV joint. Couldn't find anything online that I could use easily that would, that was perfect for the job. I'm sure it exists, but I couldn't find it. A quick look I had, so I thought, right, I'll just look at a CV joint boot. German, Swedish, and French. It said on there, CV joint boot kit, 95p. I thought that can't be right. I fully expected just to get sort of the clips and the grease, but no, it came with a joint that's actually the right size as well. So it's a 20mm hole in here, and that takes my 3/4 gear change rod perfectly. So I just make a little stub on the bulkhead for that to mount to, and then that'll be the gear change going through that, and that'll be my gator. But 95p. I mean, it must have been a mistake. But anyway, there you go. Exactly what I needed. So now I'll get on with the cup holder. Stop rabbiting. Now, what were the chances of that? Almost exactly the right angle. Bit long though, unfortunately. So given I said I was going to make a little tab to locate, to go on here to locate the grommet for the steering column to go through, of course I ended up making a piece that sat at an angle because it was just too much. So basically what I've got to do, the grommet fits in that hole. I've marked when the steering column was in place, had to have it on and off a few times, unbolting and bolting on the column, which is obviously a bit of a pain in the arse. And I'm just going to tack that on, tack that on there like that, and then that is at the right angle for the grommet to sit, and then it'll take a bit of I'll tack it on this side, and then I'll grind it off from the inside the engine bay till I'm just on the edge of the bit, and I'll just weld around the outside, and that'll be that bit done. Then it'll be on to making the grommet for the gear change to go through. So, bit of welding now. So here we have that tube welded in, the main roll bar tube, the gusset, the pocket welded in for the steering column gaiter, and the stub for my CV joint boot gear change gaiter. I've just splashed on some etch primer so it doesn't rust. I'm going to finish off a bit nicer than that. So it's just all masticed up. When all the mastic's gone off, I will paint it all properly. So, and if you were the same from inside the car, so you can see the tubes in, and he welded up the hole underneath that, so that's all done. That bit in, and there's the hole for the gear change rod to go through. So, and so there you go. Like I said, not startling progress for the last 3 weeks, but slow and steady, and getting towards putting the interior together. So on the next one, I think I'll be able to paint up what I've done on the interior, paint up all the bits of cage and stuff that need doing. And when I say the mastic's gone off fully, it's probably done by now. It was a couple of days ago I finished that. So I'll be able to prime that, get all the engine bay finished, get it all painted, and then start putting the carpets in, get the back seats in. Yeah, so just plod along, see where we get to next time. One bit I did do that wasn't on camera at all was I dressed the welds and painted the rear seat mounting frame. And I was going to point it, I said when I made it, I'd show where I made a mistake. So these tubes were basically supposed to be in line, but I think this one shifted when I welded it, so it should have been over here, but it moved when I tacked it, so it ended up not being in line. But as I said at the time, I wasn't going to make a whole new one for that. So it is what it is, but I think it looks perfectly acceptable. When it's bolted in the car, that will look lovely. So, yeah, another jobbed. Yeah, so that's car done really, but I think, dare I say, world events, Trump. Anyway, won't go into that now. Probably alienate half the tiny audience that I have, but yeah, leave that stuff alone. So I will just say thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll see if I can get back to 2 weeks for the videos rather than 3 as I'm doing at the moment, but as I say, we'll see how life permits, and Christmas coming up now. Oh god, not too distant future. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. Anyway, I think it just remains for me to say my customary cheers, good health, and I'll see you in a few weeks.